Fluff.
Here's Fluff.
You watched Aladdin last night.
I finished it. I finished it this morning.
How'd you like that?
I couldn't finish it last night. I kept falling asleep.
What are your thoughts?
Actually, it was fine. I kind of didn't like the extra little song things.
Yeah.
That's what we said.
But they were short. So
But they were irrelevant.
No. They were 100% relevant, but they were short. So it's like while hearing them like as a first watch, it was like kind of jarring. Like, why are they singing now? But then it was just like, well, it went by so fast. It was like, it's not really a big deal. And I get what they're. I mean, in any musical, you're always probably, as a writer, you're always trying to figure out, do we sing it or do we say it? You're always making that decision. And for a person to stand in the scene talking to themselves looks weird. But to have them sing to themselves does not.
Right.
Because then it becomes like inner monologue almost. Whereas in a film, you don't want anybody to have inner monologue while you're looking at them on the screen. You could hear their inner monologue while seeing something else.
Yeah.
But just to hear, I guess I didn't really. I mean, you could tell that it was very much a Jasmine of the Me Too movement era.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I get what you guys are trying to get at here. You know, she's gonna have her voice and she's gonna be heard. And great, but I don't know if it need. I never saw Jasmine as weak.
Neither did I.
So
That's
to
why her
me-
father was always so exasperated.
right,
Like,
with her behavior and
Yeah.
her choices
Yep.
and her what she would say. I never saw her as voiceless.
never.
So for them to push that idea in that film,
It felt like it didn't need to be there.
yeah, I don't think it did for that character.
No.
You know, she was never a Disney princess that was vulnerable, needing to be saved. And she didn't fit those archetypes. She was always stronger.
Right, she's the one who was like, I'm tired of being in the palace. Let's
And
go.
I think she was like the first
Yeah, she was.
of the Disney princesses to be that way, to be, because she's before Pocahontas.
Let me
Is she
look.
before Mulan?
Yes.
Yes.
See,
Before
when you start,
Pocahontas?
when you get,
I thought
when
Pocahontas was way old.
when you get to the colored princesses, I think she's the first.
I don't like that they.
I believe.
I don't like that they changed her design.
We'll verify.
They changed her design and the colors, and it's
Oh my
like,
God.
what do you associate with Jasmine? Turquoise.
Oh, see that doesn't bother me at
It
all.
bothered
You
me.
know what it did feel like though, in
They only
a
did it
couple
in one
parts,
scene.
it felt very much hip hop Bollywood,
Yeah.
which was very
Yeah,
interesting.
it
It was like Will Smith and the hip hop in the performances, but it felt very. Did you notice that they sped up the video?
In what?
In the dancing parts, you could tell that the
Oh,
frame
yeah,
rate
some of them.
changes. Like
Some
it
of
feels
them,
just
yeah.
a little bit cranked up.
Yeah.
So it's like they're unnaturally fast.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it seemed to me. It did not seem like that was how they were moving. Now, if it was, they did an awesome job of dancing.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think that's what happened. I think they
it wasn't
cranked it up
supposed to
just
be-
a little bit.
Wasn't it supposed to be like Genie's controlling?
No. I'm talking about when
Faster.
everybody's dancing. He wouldn't have a need to control everybody, but it's like everybody got just a teeny bit,
Faster.
like a little cranked up to the point where it was like, that's not how people move.
That's a little unnatural.
It goes Ariel, Belle,
Ariel's not
Jasmine,
one of them.
Pocahontas, Mulan, Tiana, Rapunzel,
Okay.
Merida.
I want you to do only the colored brown princesses.
Jasmine, Pocahontas, Mulan, Tiana.
See? That's what I thought.
And Moana is the last one.
That's what I thought. She was the first. She's the first time that we get a brown princess.
Why isn't Shuri in here?
Who?
Shuri. From Black Panther.
Sister.
Panther, that's not
That's
a
Marvel.
No, but that's not a animated Disney princess film.
She's still a Disney
No,
princess.
no. If you do that, there's all kinds of princesses. Those are the live action
Then
ones
Princess
were
Leia
never
would be a
right. Princess
Disney
Leia would be a
princess.
princess.
She
No,
wasn't Disney.
she is now.
Okay, then she's
Just as much as Marvel is. If they have princesses, they would be now Disney princess. No. Nobody
Keep
is.
them separate.
Whenever they make those lists, it is never have anything to do with the live action princesses.
All right.
It is only the animated.
I don't like what they did to Jafar though.
No.
What do you mean? What they did to him?
They made him not
He was less
like
sinister.
menacing and evil.
But it also to
He's,
me.
like sniveling. And,
But didn't it seem more realistic? Like he would be more like that guy in real life?
no,
I do.
because
He seemed like a regular guy.
no, he seemed like the wimp and a coward. And
Yes.
no, that's not how Jafar
but
was.
that
though.
is how Jafar was.
He felt more powerful in the original because he could control the Sultan, and he felt like he
felt.
he was-
I think he
he was
felt
entitled, yes.
Entitled.
Yes.
But he was not all confident.
and he was like arrogant.
He was arrogant, like he was looking down on everyone.
Yeah,
But that was only because of the power that he had to control.
right.
But he didn't seem like he was actually confident in that.
No,
He never seemed confident in the animated one.
no, but he still
Like I'm
he
doing
still
this
had
because
this-
I don't have confidence.
I
still
don't
had
think
an
that.
arrogance about him.
Yeah.
You know?
I think entitlement and arrogance are not the same thing.
No,
I think
yeah,
he
both of
looked
them.
down on people in the other one because he was taller.
Well, yeah.
So he looked down on everyone except for the tiger. You see, the tiger was the thing that seemed to be more,
The equalizer.
like it was more equal power there.
Yeah.
But the tiger could walk around and be confident in that, and he couldn't.
It was like
he
no-
had to
was like
rely
the only
on
thing he
something
feared.
else.
Yeah, I didn't think the live action Jafar was sinister enough.
I thought he was as sinister.
He was a creep.
I think he was sinister for live action. Like he
I
was
don't
what
think
a
so.
live action. Because the other one was cartoony, but this guy he was like a regular guy, and you could see that he was almost. It was like
He's
he
just
wanted.
like a creepy weirdo, though.
Yeah, but that's what he would be though in real life.
I don't think it. I don't think he did.
It would be. It's like the difference between a Santa Claus that's animated and a real Santa Claus. He's gonna have vulnerabilities that are very different in live action. He's gonna have facial movements. He's gonna have certain things. He's not gonna just walk around and be.
And in the
Like a cartoon.
immortal words of Drag Race, I think he could have taken it further.
I think he
wasn't-
could have taken
he
it
didn't-
further, but would have been believable, wrapped in the skin of live action.
Yes.
I don't think so.
I
don't think he would have been believable. He'd have been cartoonish.
I don't think he looked right either, because he wasn't tall.
Nope.
But that made him vulnerable.
Right.
That would also lead you down the road of he's doing this in order to be the big man when he's not the big man.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
And that whole I was a thief like you thing.
Yeah, I didn't
was
like
never-
that. That was never
a
put in
thing.
there.
And the whole him turning into the old man and tricking Aladdin, like he just was like, here, go do this thing, and then I'll screw you over later. It wasn't. There was
see the
no.
problem.
There wasn't really. I don't know. It wasn't as interesting, and he didn't find him the same because he returned the crown. All the fluff. I don't like the fluff. Just go with the original. There's a reason why the
when
original
you say,
is good.
Okay, but when you say the original, what are you talking
Okay,
about?
the animated Disney one.
Right.
Okay, that's
So,
not the
because
original.
that's not the original.
Not the original.
So what would Jafar have been in Arabian Nights?
I don't know.
You should read Arabian Nights.
You see, you had it on your shelf for years.
I don't know.
You sure did.
How would I have known that?
Someday, I'm gonna do something with all those books, all 3,000 of them sitting in storage that I pay every month for.
Probably a lot of things we would do with the stuff that's in storage.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have all of the Transformers in a shelf, I'd display them. Because, you know, there are a lot of
Maybe
Transformers in there.
when you get to a point where you're in your own place, you can have them shipped.
There are even some Legos in there. Like all the Ninjago dragons.
So you're gonna
They're all in
are you
there.
gonna download Arabian Nights?
What? The book?
I mean, yeah. You know, that's where Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, I believe, are in there, and that's where Aladdin is in there.
I know
and
that it's a collection of stories.
Right.
And that's where Aladdin comes. I know that's where.
so I'm saying that you gonna read
Oh, it's free on the iBooks.
it? Arabian Nights, the whole thing.
Yep.
There you go.
You don't have it.
I don't think I do. I think I had it in one
I
of
have
the
it now.
apps that had a
Okay.
bunch of
The one
out of copyright books.
Probably the one I was reading.
It's probably in our drive from
Maybe.
when we did that whole collegiate.
Maybe, I don't know. But yes, that
No, I was only talking about
you
the animated.
I would suggest going back and looking at the book and seeing if this Jafar is closer to that. Because that would make sense, right? Because the book would have had the rules of live action, the ideas of live action, as opposed to the Disney version. I mean, it's just like Winnie the Pooh. You got Disney's Winnie the Pooh, and then you got Milne's Winnie the Pooh. They are not the same, people.
No,
You know? So,
definitely not.
if you're gonna make the live action, then which one do you make?
Right.
Do you remake Disney's
haven't-
version
I
of Winnie the
haven't
Pooh, or do
seen-
you pull up the?
I haven't seen Christopher Robin yet.
Is that live action too?
Yeah,
God,
that's the live action one.
I was gonna watch the Dumbo, but I went to bed.
I haven't watched that.
I haven't watched that
I
either.
can't bring myself to watch that.
I have to bring myself. I brought myself
Have
to
you
watch.
watched-
I watched Knives Out yesterday, and I watched.
It's Knives Out.
Yeah, see.
What is it?
I read an entire book yesterday.
Oh God.
Okay, we don't talk about
What's
it.
Knives Out? Is it a show?
No, it's a movie. Came out in 2019.
Oh.
I think it was up for an Oscar for something. It's got a lot of people in it.
Have you watched the live action Lion King yet?
I have not. That's another one I need to do. And the Beauty and the Beast I haven't seen. I haven't seen any of the live.
You haven't
This
seen
is
Cinderella,
the
Beauty
this
and the
is the
Beast?
first live action outside of Maleficent, which I really don't count because it's like a whole new
No,
story.
it's
No.
no.
This is the first one
It's the same world
that I've seen
out of the live action.
out of all the live action Disney ones.
I
got
like
Cinderella.
Cinderella and I like Sleeping
See,
Beauty.
I haven't seen any of them.
Cinderella, not Sleeping Beauty.
Or not Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast. I like that.
Haven't seen that one
Lion
either.
King.
I'm not watching that.
You should. Maybe
guys should
what we
watch
should
it
do.
together.
Maybe we should do is sit down
The three of
and
you watch,
watch them, and then discuss if they're any good or not. Because
The three of
you know,
you can watch the Lion King. I'm not doing that again.
it's. I get that now technology is to a point where making those films live action, especially with talking animals and stuff, that whole thing is now available and it's
Better.
believable and
Yeah.
it looks
Not
like from a VFX visual artist perspective, it looks better.
Not like
you
the
know.
Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Where are their mouths
But you
all
know
over?
what? Even when Beverly Hills Chihuahua comes out,
Yeah,
when
for the
it
time
comes-
it
when
looked real.
But everything is like that. I
Right.
mean, when you see RoboCop for the first time, you believe that world is happening too. And you talk about janky. Go watch RoboCop, and you'll be like, "Oh God, this is kind of terrible." But
Okay.
so what?
You don't have it in the collegiate library.
Okay. But yeah, I jumped on what I did is I did a search in the drive, basically all the movies that we have on the Plex, and I did a search for 2019, so I could go back and watch some of these films that came out, because there's so many of them I haven't seen. I haven't seen
Yeah.
most of the Oscar ones, and the
much
big
of
one
it.
that came out and won, the Korean film. I haven't seen that yet either.
Parasite?
Yeah, and I really want to see that, so I basically just made a new playlist, and I'm gonna kind of march my way through them. Of the,
There's a bunch I haven't seen.
but you know,
I haven't seen like
we gotta, I make time, I guess.
the big ones. Yeah, it's the shortcut thing.
Yeah, why are you pointing? I know, it says shortcuts. Why are you pointing it out?
Because you said you didn't know what it was.
Huh? What? What? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about. When was this conversation?
At the beginning of the podcast.
Okay, now I don't even know what you're talking
When I
about.
was talking about how I set up a shortcut to play music when I opened an app.
Oh, I didn't know you were talking about this at all. Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, when I open Procreate, I've set it up in the shortcuts so that it
I
prompts
wasn't even
me
listening to you guys then.
Oh, well, see.
I knew what
That's different
shortcuts
then.
were. I wasn't even listening to
That's
y'all.
different.
Y'all were in a whole nother place.
There's 2 new movies that I've seen the trailers for on the Instagrams.
And?
Pixar movie named Onward. It's something magical. And another one, a Sony one from the makers of the Spider-Verse, where it's like a family trip and there are robots and stuff happens. But it's got that sort of comic booky style to it, similar to the Spider-Verse.
Alright, so your Knives Out,
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it.
haven't seen it. Don't
Directed
know
by Ryan Johnson. And stars Daniel Craig,
this.
007.
James Bond.
Chris Evans. Jamie... Are you kidding me? You don't know who Chris Evans is? Wow, the
What's-
Flame On guy?
Captain America. Jesus. I was like, wait, it's one of the Chris's, but I couldn't remember which one.
Oh God. Jamie
Hey,
Lee
man,
Curtis.
that's a lot.
Michael Shannon, who is, you don't know his name, but he's Zod in the reboot.
Oh, yeah. I know.
You know his face.
I know.
Don Johnson
Who's John Johnson?
from Miami Vice, man.
Miami Vice.
Miami Vice. I said it right the first time. Don Johnson. He's also the police chief in Watchmen.
The show or the movie?
The show.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's the police chief.
Johnson.
Lakeith Stanfield, which is he's from Atlanta. I like him in Atlanta. He's awesome.
Donald Glover's show?
Yep. Christopher
Childish
Plummer.
Gambino?
Christopher Plummer. Old guy. Oh God, even Frank Oz is in there? He is in there. If you want to follow the Traveling Farrs, you can find us at the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and anywhere that does podcast
No, just T6.
at the Traveling Farrs. If you like Instagram and the Twitters, Traveling Farrs, the email address is the travelingfars@gmail.com. And the blog space, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry.
Go to the YouTubes. Like and subscribe.
What's
Hit
in
the bell
wait,
notification.
Wait a minute. What are you talking
Aaron
about?
is
Already
posting-
on the
Oh,
YouTube
oh,
if they're
okay.
watching this.
Aaron is posting
But they might be
videos
listening on the blueberry.
or the iTunes.
The blueberry always comes out first.
Go to YouTube, subscribe, like, hit the bell.
To
Aaron is
hit the
posting
Don't hit the
several
bell. Ring the bell.
videos a week. Right?
Oh yeah.
Fine.
I'm trying to do 2 a day until I get caught up with all the old stuff, but I keep making new old stuff, so I kind of don't really ever get caught up. So yeah, I'm trying to do 2 a day until it's just new stuff,
Also,
which is gonna take me years.
you don't hit a bell.
You don't hit the bell, you ring
You
the bell.
ring it.
You ring it. You ring the
You
bell.
can ring my
Oh,
bell. Sorry.
That is. I don't think that's what she meant.
That's what I mean.
All right. I think that's it. That's all.
Bye, folks.
Say goodbye to the people. Say goodbye to the people. Say goodbye to the people. Hey!
What are you doing, man?
Really? You're not gonna say goodbye to the people?
We can't end without a happy cat.
Cliffhanger my ass.